so that was an amazing performance by Mutinda Mukenya. So please introduce yourself, tell us who you are.
My name is Mutinda Mukenya. I'm a music therapist by profession and a live performer as well. Yeah, and I'm glad to be here.
So you're a music therapist.
Yeah.
How did you get to do music therapy, and what led to your decision to become a music therapist?
First, it started out of curiosity. Basically, when I was growing up, I never thought, or rather, I didn't think I wanted to be a musician. I wanted to do something different. But when I cleared high school, I didn't have much to do in terms of probably going to school.
Yeah.
So in that phase that you finished high school and probably waiting to go to college, I decided to take up the instruments. So I used to go to church to learn the guitar and the piano. I couldn't afford actually to pay like a tutor. So I used to do a lot of YouTube, a lot of Google, and since I didn't have a guitar or a piano, I used to use the church instruments. So that's how I got to learn the instruments. And just in the process of just getting to learn how to play and getting better with the instruments, I started going out for events and trying to, like share what I know with other people. And in that process, I started meeting quite a lot of musicians. And one day I happened to meet music therapists from states that had come to Kenya for community service. And while we were catching up at a break, during a break, they shared with me what they do in states. They told me about music therapy. And I found it really unique, very different. But then I'd already started doing live performances. And I thought probably this is an avenue that not so many people have discovered. So I thought probably I could follow that line and see how far I can go. So I came to Mata. Mata was the first hospital that I ever approached. And luckily, I found Mata had a department for music therapy. So I joined the team. And I remember the first time I joined the team, the first ward that I visited with them, because they used to have like a schedule, like today we're going to this wards, tomorrow this. That day they were starting with the renal unit. So I went to the renal unit. Like at that particular moment, I really didn't know so much of what happens in the renal unit. So, well, I said we can go. But when I went there and I got to see what really happens, patients having their blood being cleaned by the machines. So you're kind of seeing the blood coming out of the body through the machine and back to the body. It kind of disturbed me. I felt nauseated. It was hard for me at that particular moment. I actually had to step out of the room because I couldn't hold it.
So you didn't play your first time, Mama?
My first time, I think I played one song, and I couldn't go on.
Yeah.
So I had to go out. And I remember the next day I didn't come because I thought, hey man, this was difficult because I'd never been so much, like I'd never been in a hospital for that long.
Yeah.
So the second day that I missed, and then the third day came, and I was like, well, I don't have much to do, and I want to play the guitar, I want to sing. Probably I could go and try again. So when I came the third day, which now was my second time, the mood was different. We went to a ward, and at least the guys looked kind of okay. So the response was really amazing, and the way the guys were appreciating the music made me feel like it's a worth course.
Yeah.
It's something that probably I can get used to with time. So that's how I got into music therapy. Each day at a time, getting to learn more about music therapy, getting to get used to the hospital environment that I wasn't used to a point where now I was like, a veteran in the hospital. Like everything was just normal. Yeah.
Okay, so you've mentioned you wanted to see how far music can take you. So how far has music taken you? What have you been able to do that you couldn't have done if you were not participating in music?
I've been able to do a lot. Most particularly is I've been able to make quite a number of good friends in the music, on the music line. Out of music therapy, I've had a chance to be interviewed by BBC, by Reuters London, by Canada Broadcasting Corporation, Citizen TV, NTV, and the Standard newspaper.
Yeah.
I've had a chance to meet people who were clients before, but with time they become like a family. Out of the business line, you become friends, you become something better than you are in the beginning. I would say like I've made a family out of music.
Yeah. And the satisfaction of also seeing the people who you played for in hospital.
Being happy.
Happy.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you went to a session or an event and you found these people who play in the States. So they've told you about what you do, they do, and you're interested. So do you just jump in, or do they take you through a series of training? I'm asking for someone who would want to be a music therapist and they decided they want to join you. Please take us through.
Well, when I met these music therapists from States at a community event, it was in Kibera. We were in a school in Kibera. We were trying to use music to educate the young kids. They just told me like an idea of what they do, but we didn't go through a training. I wouldn't say that I learned quite. I don't think I learned anything from them at that particular time. And actually, even after they went, we never kept contact because it was like a one-day thing. You meet, you do the thing, and everyone parts ways.
Yeah.
So when I was beginning, I was learning more about music therapy from the internet, getting to see how people do it in the States. Because by then, States was like the country that had a more solid music therapy program. Yeah. So I would go to YouTube, watch videos, get to see how they do it, and get to learn one or two things from the videos. But the challenge was here. It's a bit different because it hasn't been really formalized as a service in the hospital. So I would say we work as volunteers, not really as qualified music therapists. So with time, I got better. I got the recognition, and out of the recognition, most particularly the BBC one, some music therapists from States got to see the interview, and they got interested, and that's how we started talking. We linked up through Facebook. We started talking about the future of music therapy in Africa, how we can make really music therapy be a thing in Africa. For them, they had been coming to Kenya for their summer holidays to do music therapy voluntarily to kids and people in the hospitals as well. So, but we had never met. But when they saw the video and they were like, yeah, last year we went to Kenya to do music therapy. Then there's this guy we didn't meet. We can link up and see what we can do. So that's how we came to be together. Our first session was in 2018, in July. We had our first training, which was getting to learn more about music therapists, now from professionals. The first time we didn't have a good number of people attending the session because not so many people knew about music therapy. So from the first training that we did, we kept contact after they left, we kept sharing ideas. I kept on telling them what I feel about music therapy, like on the side of Kenya and Africa in general. I kept on telling them the progress that we are making. Is it getting any better? Is it getting worse? And they will tell me how it is on the other side. We will Skype, we will talk, they will give me ideas. I will share them my views about music therapy as a new music therapist. So I learned a lot from them. Then came in 2019, they came again in July, and we had another session of music therapy at PPMC, Permanent Presidential Music Commission. And this time we had a lot of people showing interest. I remember we were like over 100 people attending the training. We did a 2-day training where we got certificates from PPMC. And I felt like that particular moment that at least music therapy has started earning some recognition that wasn't there. And it made me believe that with time it will get better. And that's what I believe, and that's what I work on every day.
Right. So you have a team?
Well, I wouldn't say it's my team, but it's people that we met through different forums, and we decided we can do this thing together.
All right. So where do you play?
With the team that I'm in, we play at Mater Hospital on voluntary basis, but we're given something small. And it's Nairobi Women's. Currently I work on my own, like alone, as a contract from the hospital. But it's not really, it hasn't gotten to the level that
you want it to get to. But it's getting there.
But it's getting there.
So looking back from when you started getting interest in music therapy to date, what's the improvement? What is your general overview on the growth of music therapy and how it's being accepted in the society? What would you say?
The growth that I've seen is, the most profound one is the response from clients, basically patients in the hospital. At first, it was something really hard convincing someone that I'm playing music in the hospital with a guitar. They will think it's going to be too loud.
And it's noisy.
Yeah, so they will get really skeptical about it. And some will say, no, I don't want. But we will go to some places and they will feel like, okay, mneza cheza. Then when we start playing, the other guys who said they don't want, they will come in and then say, kumbe hivi ndo ilikuwa, we didn't think it would be this. So with time I've seen the response getting really positive, that I can actually walk to a ward in the hospital and everyone is like really looking forward to the music. Unlike in the beginning when people weren't really sure about it.
Okay. So, say, do you do home-based therapy, ama you just go to hospital?
Currently, I only go to hospital.
Okay.
Home-based is something that I'm working on slowly by slowly. At least you have to be sure of what you're doing. I've tried once in a while the home-based, which is, you know, like currently people perceive it as entertainment. So they don't really see it as a therapy. I think for me that's a challenge that I'm still facing. Because as much as people are responding positively to it, but I want it to get to the level that they see it as a therapy, that I can be called in for a therapy session, not really as an entertainment session.
So, if someone wants to find you, what are your handles?
They can reach me through Facebook, Mutinda Mukenya, or Instagram _Mukenya KE.
Okay, so that is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed having this session direct from the music therapist. He has left his contacts. You can reach to him if you need more information regarding this form of therapy. And also feel free to ask any questions if you would like us to host him again with more, to shed more light on music therapy. Do not hesitate to tell us at the comment section.
So we go.
Father was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw birthing on the roof, a beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to a kitchen chair. She broke your throne and she cut your hair. From your lips she drew the hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.